Good evening. This is All India Radio. I am Valsa Williams, and with me is Renu Kataria with the evening news. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi reviews COVID-19 situation with chief ministers of all states, expresses confidence that India will emerge victorious with everyone's efforts. Hard work is the only path and victory the only option for India, says the Prime Minister. Centre reviews preparedness on migrant workers with states and union territories in view of surge in COVID cases. India achieves milestone of administering over 155 crore COVID-19 vaccine doses in less than a year. 3 people die and 20 injured as Guwahati-Bikaner express train derails near New Domohani in West Bengal. Railway Minister announces ex gratia 5 lakh rupees each to the next of kin of the dead. India and the UK formally launched negotiations for a free trade agreement between the two countries. More than 1 crore people to participate in global Surya Namaskar demonstration program on the occasion of Makar Sankranti tomorrow. President, Vice President and Prime Minister greet people on the occasion of Makar Sankranti, Lohri, Bihu, Vishu and Pongal. In badminton, PV Sindhu and HS Prannoy advanced to the singles quarterfinals of India Open Badminton. Saina Nehwal crashes out. And in cricket, India set 212-run target before South Africa in the series decider test at Cape Town. Rishabh Pant scores a century. As the number of COVID-19 cases is rising fast in several parts of the country, we appeal to our listeners to be vigilant and to get fully vaccinated and help others, including children between 15 and 18 years, get vaccinated. As the new Omicron variant of coronavirus is causing concern, please continue to follow these 3 simple steps to stay safe. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. For any COVID-related information and guidance, contact national helpline numbers 011-2397-8046 and 1075. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today expressed confidence that India will definitely emerge victorious against COVID with everyone's efforts. He was interacting with chief ministers of all states this evening through video conferencing.
हमारा एकमात्र पथ है और विजय एकमात्र विकल्प। हम 130 करोड़ भारत के लोग अपने प्रयासों से कोरोना से जीतकर अवश्य निकलेंगे और आप सबसे जो बातें मैंने सुनी हैं उसमें भी वही विश्वास प्रकट हो रहा है।
Mr. Modi said India's battle with the biggest pandemic of 100 years has now entered its 3rd year and hard work is the only path and victory the only option. He said the earlier skepticism about Omicron is now slowly getting cleared. He added that the Omicron variant is infecting people at several times faster rate than the previous variant.
ओमिक्रॉन को लेकर पहले जो संशय की स्थिति थी वो अब धीरे धीरे साफ हो रही है। पहले जो वेरिएंट थे उनकी अपेक्षा में कई गुना अधिक तेजी से ओमिक्रॉन वेरिएंट सामान्य जन को संक्रमित कर रहा है। हमें सतर्क रहना है, सावधान रहना है, लेकिन पैनिक की स्थिति न आए इसका भी हमें ध्यान रखना ही होगा।
The Prime Minister said the preemptive, proactive and collective approach adopted by central and state governments last time is the mantra of victory this time as well.
पहले केंद्र और राज्य सरकारों ने जिस तरह प्रिएम्प्टिव, प्रोएक्टिव और कलेक्टिव अप्रोच अपनाई है वही इस समय की जीत का मंत्र है। कोरोना संक्रमण को हम जितना सीमित रख पाएंगे परेशानी उतनी ही कम होगी। हमें जागरूकता के फ्रंट पर साइंस आधारित जानकारियों को बल देने के साथ ही अपने मेडिकल इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर को, मेडिकल मैन पावर को स्केल अप करते ही रहना पड़ेगा।
Mr. Modi said Made in India vaccines are proving their superiority all over the world. He said it is a matter of pride for everyone that today India has given the first dose to about 92% of the adult population.
कोरोना से लड़ने का सबसे कारगर हथियार वैक्सीन ही है। भारत में बनी वैक्सीन तो दुनिया भर में अपनी श्रेष्ठता सिद्ध कर रही हैं। ये हर भारतीय के लिए गर्व का विषय है कि आज भारत लगभग 92% वयस्क जनसंख्या को पहली डोज दे चुका है। देश में दूसरी डोज की कवरेज में भी 70% के आसपास पहुंच चुके हैं।
The Prime Minister said this shows India's potential and preparedness to deal with this challenge. He also laid stress on intensifying the Har Ghar Dastak campaign for 100% vaccination. Regarding health infrastructure, the Prime Minister lauded the states for using the 23,000 crore rupee package that was given earlier to revamp the health infrastructure. The Prime Minister also stressed the need to keep on expanding the infrastructure. He said, along with tackling Omicron, there is a need to start preparing for any future variant from now itself. The Chief Minister thanks the Prime Minister for his leadership during the successive waves of COVID-19. The Chief Ministers talked about preparedness to tackle increasing cases through steps like increase in beds and oxygen availability.
The Centre has reviewed the status of preparedness with states and union territories about migrant workers following the surge in COVID-19 cases. Secretary, Ministry of Labour and Employment, Sunil Bhartwal, chaired the coordination meeting with states and UTs through video conferencing. The states informed that barring night curfews and weekend curfews at few places, there are no restrictions on construction, business or industrial activities in the country. They informed so far there is no report of unusual movement of migrant workers at present owing to the limited restrictions imposed by the governments. Some media reports of mass exodus regarding movement of migrant workers to their home states were found to be untrue, and it was also noticed that such reporting was based on old photographs. The ministry said the business situation is normal throughout the country except 50% restrictions on workforce at some places. The central as well as the state governments are keeping a close watch on the situation and are fully ready to tackle it. Government has said the claims being shared on social media that a nationwide lockdown has been announced till 25th January are fake. Press Information Bureau of the government asked people to check only authentic sources for correct information and not share such pictures and messages.
India's COVID-19 vaccination coverage has crossed 155 crore 28 lakh mark today. Health Minister Dr. Mansukh Mandavia said it is a new achievement for India in the new year. In a tweet, he congratulated the Team India for this achievement. Dr. Mandavia also appealed to the people to keep up this momentum and get vaccinated if they have not received it. Out of the total vaccination, more than 90 crore 11 lakh vaccine doses were administered as first dose, while 64 crore 84 lakh doses given as second dose. The Union Health Ministry said more than 33 lakh 12,000 precaution doses for identified categories of beneficiaries for COVID vaccination have been administered so far. Over 3 crore 12 lakh vaccine doses have been given to children aged 15 to 18 years so far. The ministry also said more than 63 lakh vaccine doses have been administered till 7 p.m. today. Meanwhile, over 2,47,000 new COVID-19 cases were reported in the country in the last 24 hours. The Health Ministry said over 84,000 people recovered from the infection during the same period. Active caseload now stands at 11,17,531. The recovery rate is currently at 95.59%. 380 deaths were reported in the last 24 hours. The ministry said till now 5,488 cases of Omicron variant have been reported in the country. Out of these, 2,162 people have recovered. Over 3 crore children between the age group of 15 to 18 years have received the first dose of COVID-19 vaccine. Health Minister Mansukh Mandavia said there is a great sense of responsibility and enthusiasm among young India. Dr. Geeta Kampani, Professor Medicine, Safdarjung Hospital, talked about booster dose to persons aged above 60 with comorbidities.
60 years and above with comorbidities. जैसे जिनको ब्लड प्रेशर की तकलीफ है या डायबिटीज है या कैंसर से पीड़ित हैं या और कोई ऐसी बीमारी है जिससे उनकी इम्यूनिटी कम होती है, तो इन लोगों को बूस्टर डोज लेना अनिवार्य है। 9 महीने का अंतर होना चाहिए फ्रॉम योर सेकेंड डोज ऑफ वैक्सीनेशन एंड वही वैक्सीन लगानी है जो कि आपने पहले लगाई है। कोविशील्ड लगाई है तो कोविशील्ड का बूस्टर डोज और कोवैक्सीन है तो कोवैक्सीन का बूस्टर डोज।
In our bilingual live phone-in program Corona Jagruta series, Dr. Ajay Shukla, RML Hospital, New Delhi, will be with us tonight to answer the queries related to coronavirus. This program can be heard on FM Gold channel and additional frequencies from 9:30 p.m. onwards. Listeners can ask questions to the expert on telephone numbers 011-2342-1230 and 011-2342-1764. You can also post your queries on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts by #AskAIR. This program will also be available on our website newsonair.gov.in and on our YouTube channel News on AIR Official. You're listening to the evening news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi reviews COVID-19 situation with chief ministers of all states, expresses confidence that India will emerge victorious with everyone's efforts. Hard work is the only path and victory the only option for India, says the Prime Minister. Centre reviews preparedness on migrant workers with states and union territories in view of surge in COVID cases. India achieves the milestone of administering over 155 crore COVID-19 vaccine doses in less than a year. 3 people die and 20 injured as Bikaner-Guwahati express train derails near New Domohani in West Bengal. Railway Minister announces ex gratia of 5 lakh rupees each to the next of kin of the dead. India and the UK formally launched negotiations for a free trade agreement between the two countries. More than 1 crore people to participate in global Surya Namaskar demonstration program on the occasion of Makar Sankranti tomorrow. President, Vice President and Prime Minister greet people on the occasion of Makar Sankranti, Lohri, Bihu, Vishu and Pongal. In badminton, PV Sindhu and HS Pranoy advanced to the singles quarterfinals of India Open Badminton. Saina Nehwal crashes out. And in cricket, India set 212-run target before South Africa in the series decider test at Cape Town. Rishabh Pant scores a century. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts. चलो मिलकर एक शुरुआत करें, चलो एक फैसला आज करें, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे, चलो एक इरादा करते हैं, चलो कुछ वादा करते हैं, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे।
अपने बिजनेस को बढ़ाने के लिए लीजिए आकाशवाणी का सहयोग और दीजिए उसे बुलंदियों के पंख।
आपका बिजनेस लोकल है या राष्ट्रीय, आकाशवाणी देती है उपभोक्ताओं तक पहुंचने का हर विकल्प।
और अब तो आप घर, दफ्तर या दुकान पर बैठे बैठे कर सकते हैं आकाशवाणी के किसी भी केंद्र के लिए विज्ञापनों की बुकिंग।
आकाशवाणी के विभिन्न चैनलों पर विज्ञापन देना सुलभ और सस्ता।
बुकिंग है तो संपर्क करें 8700014242 पर।
8700014242।
Welcome back to the evening news. The Guwahati-Bikaner Express train derailed near New Domohani railway station in West Bengal this evening. According to Indian Railways officials, train number 15633 Up Express left New Domohani station at around 5 p.m. and while the train was on run in block section between New Domohani and New Moinaguri stations, it derailed. An accident relief train and medical van have been rushed to the accident site. Railway Board Chairman V.K. Tripathi and DG Safety are leaving from Delhi to the site of the accident. High-level railway safety inquiry has been ordered into the incident. 3 people have died and 20 were injured in the accident, Indian Railway officials said. The rescue work is almost complete. Railways Minister Ashwini Vaishnav announced an ex gratia of 5 lakh rupees each to the next of kin of those killed and 1 lakh rupees to the grievously injured and 25,000 rupees to those with minor injuries. The Railways Minister said he will reach the site of the train accident tomorrow morning. Indian Railways has issued helpline numbers. They are 0361 2731 622 and 2731 623. Prime Minister Narendra Modi spoke to Railways Minister Ashwini Vaishnav and took stock of the situation. In a tweet, he said his thoughts are with the bereaved families and hoped for the injured to recover quickly.
The Chief Minister of West Bengal, Mamata Banerjee, has expressed deep concern on the tragic train accident in Mainaburi this evening. She tweeted that the situation is being closely monitored from the state headquarters. Senior officers of the state government are supervising the rescue and relief operations. The CPRO of North East Frontier Railway said that the rescue operation is over and those passengers who want to come to Guwahati would be taken to Guwahati by another train from the incident spot in West Bengal. India and the UK have formally launched negotiations for a free trade agreement between the two countries. Joint statement of Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal and UK Secretary of State for International Trade Anne-Marie Trevelyan said the free trade agreement would be a substantial opportunity for both economies and a significant moment in the bilateral relationship. According to the statement, India-UK bilateral trading relationship is already significant and both sides have agreed to double it by 2030 as part of Roadmap 2030 announced by the Prime Minister Narendra Modi and British Prime Minister Boris Johnson in May last year. The statement said India and the UK will seek to agree a mutually beneficial agreement supporting jobs, businesses and communities in both countries. It said trade negotiations will be a priority for both countries.
The 14th round of India-China Corps Commander level meeting was held at Chushul-Moldo border meeting point on the Chinese side yesterday. Representatives from the defence and foreign affairs establishments of the two sides were present during the meeting. The two sides had a frank and in-depth exchange of views for the resolution of the relevant issues along the line of actual control LAC in the western sector. A joint press release issued by the Defence Ministry said both sides agreed that they should follow the guidance provided by the state leaders and work for the resolution of the remaining issues at the earliest. It was noted that this would help in restoration of peace and tranquility along the LAC in the western sector and enable progress in bilateral relations. And now let's listen to our special program Azadi Ka Safar, highlighting the importance of the day during the freedom struggle.
आजादी का अमृत महोत्सव।
Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. Birth of a Nation. India's glorious freedom struggle is one of the greatest struggles the modern world has ever witnessed. AIR News brings you a glimpse of this struggle every day.
Long before the revolt of 1857, India's tribal communities gave their lives in opposing the colonizers. Tilka Manshi was one of such pioneer Adivasi freedom fighters. He attained martyrdom on the 13th of January, 1784.
Determined to defend his people and land, Tilka organized the Adivasis into an army trained in the use of bows and arrows. In 1770, there was a severe famine in the Santhal region. People were dying of hunger. Tilka looted the treasury of the East India Company and distributed it among the poor. Inspired by this noble act of Tilka, many other tribals also joined the rebellion. With this began his Santhal Hool, the revolt of the Santhals. He continued to attack the British and their allies from 1771 to 1784.
सार जोमगीर साडे सिंगड़ सकवा.
The year 1784 is considered as the first armed rebellion against the British. Tilka Manshi attacked Augustus Cleveland, an East India Company administrator, and fatally wounded him.
Tilka? Tilka. Ay, gitra to kaay hai na?
Aachiri metamate. Gitra matam dare buru kare de jotane. Rammanante khane khane pante.
Ase?
The British surrounded the Tilapur forest from which he operated, but he and his men held them at bay for several weeks. When he was finally caught in 1784, he was tied to the tail of a horse and dragged all the way to the collector's residence at Bhagalpur. There, his lacerated body was hung from a banyan tree.
After independence, the government erected his statue at the spot where he was hanged. Also, the Bhagalpur University has been named after him. We pay tribute to the brave son of the soil.
On the 13th of January 1849, Battle of Chilianwala was fought during the Second Anglo-Sikh Wars. Sikh army was led by Sher Singh, while the British army was led by Commander-in-Chief Hugh Gow. The Sikh army, though less in numbers than the British, forced the British army to retreat.
The repulse of the British, together with the loss of several guns and men, dealt a blow to British morale. The loss of British prestige at Chilianwala was one of the factors which contributed to the Indian Rebellion of 1857 some 9 years later.
Today we also remember Fakir Mohan Senapati, who was also known as the father of modern Oriya literature.
Born on January the 13th, 1843, Fakir Mohan Senapati was a prolific author and reformer, whose writings also infused the masses with nationalism.
Nodi pari mo jibana jau oti bahi hasi kandi kulu kulu kotha kahi kahi.
Senapati translated the Ramayana, the Mahabharata and Gita from Sanskrit to the Oriya language. Senapati entwined nationalism and language together, as he believed that nationalism was determined by language. He said that a nation cannot progress by losing its mother tongue, and believed that the development of a nation's language and literature is fundamental for the advancement of a country.
Fakir Mohan Senapati's contribution to Indian literature remains unparalleled and will continue to inspire the coming generations.
That brings us to the end of this episode of Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. See you in the next episode tomorrow.
Best wishes to all consumers for Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Hallmark ensures purity of gold. Always purchase hallmarked gold jewellery. For any consumer-related complaints, please contact National Consumer Helpline's toll-free number 14404, issued in public interest by Department of Consumer Affairs, Government of India. Jago Grahak Jago.
On the auspicious day of Makar Sankranti and during the celebrations of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, the Ministry of Ayush will host the first ever global Surya Namaskar demonstration program tomorrow, where about 10 million people will participate. Minister of Ayush Sarbananda Sonowal will address the people on the occasion and give his message on Surya Namaskar. Keeping in view the recent upsurge of corona cases, Ayush Minister has advised to do Surya Namaskar from home and upload videos on the links used for registration.
भारत सरकार की आयुष मंत्रालय की तरफ से मकर संक्रांति के दिन वैश्विक स्तर पर 75 लाख लोगों की सहभागिता से सूर्य नमस्कार आयोजित कर रहा है। आप सभी से अनुरोध है कि अपने परिवार के साथ मिलकर घर पर ही रहकर इस कार्यक्रम का हिस्सा बने और देश को स्वस्थ रखने के हमारे संकल्प को बल दे। हमारी कोशिश है कि आप लोग अपने जीवन शक्ति और रोग प्रतिरोधक क्षमता को बढ़ाने के इस प्रयोग से जोड़े, सूर्य नमस्कार से जोड़े।
From 7 a.m. to 7:30 a.m., 13 rounds of live Surya Namaskar will be conducted on DD National. During the program, leading yoga masters and gurus from global institutions will also share their messages. President, Vice President and Prime Minister have greeted the people on the occasion of Makar Sankranti, Lohri, Bihu, Vishu and Pongal. President Ramnath Kovind said in a message that a majority of festivals depict our integral relationship with nature and agriculture. He said festivals of Lohri, Makar Sankranti, Pongal, Bhogali Bihu, Uttarayan and Posh Parv mark the harvesting season of crops as the winter season ends and ushers in the spring. Mr. Kovind said people enjoy the fruits of good harvest and celebrate these festivals, which also emphasize the need to preserve our environment. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu said dedicated to the sun god, Makar Sankranti is known by different names in different parts of our country. He hoped that Makar Sankranti brings prosperity, peace and harmony in everyone's life. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has greeted the nation on the occasion of Lohri. In his message, he hoped that this special day will further the spirit of brotherhood in society.
On to sports, two-time Olympic medalist shuttler PV Sindhu and HS Pranoy advanced to the singles quarterfinals, but Saina Nehwal's campaign ended at the India Open Badminton in Delhi today. Former champion and 2012 Olympic bronze medalist Saina suffered a 17-21, 9-21 straight game loss to compatriot Malvika Bansod. Sindhu comfortably defeated compatriot Ira Sharma 21-10, 21-10. She will meet compatriot Ashmita Chaliha in the quarterfinals. Malvika will next face fellow Indian Akarshi Kashyap in the quarterfinals. Pranoy received a walkover after his opponent Mithun Manjunath withdrew from the game as he tested positive for COVID-19. In cricket, chasing the target of 212 runs set by India, South Africa was 65 for 1 in their second innings on day 3 of the Cape Town Test when reports last came in. Earlier, India were all out for 198 runs in their second innings this evening. Rishabh Pant scored a combative unbeaten 100 to help India set a 212-run target for South Africa. For the host, Marco Jansen claimed 4 wickets while Kagiso Rabada and Lungi Ngidi took 3 wickets each. India bowled out South Africa for 210 in the first innings yesterday with a 13-run lead. In the first innings, the visitors posted a total of 223, with skipper Virat Kohli scoring 79 runs. The 3-match test series is evenly poised, with both teams winning a test match each.
Minister of State for Culture Meenakshi Lekhi launched Northeast on Wheels expedition in New Delhi today to promote the culture of northeastern states. The bike expedition is scheduled between 8th to 16th April this year to mark the celebrations of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Now let us take a look at the weather forecast for tomorrow. The national capital Delhi will have dense fog. In Mumbai, it is expected to have partly cloudy sky. Chennai will have generally cloudy sky with light rain. Kolkata will have generally cloudy sky with light rain. Guwahati, Aizawl will have moderate fog. Imphal and Gangtok will have generally cloudy sky with light rain.
And now before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi reviews COVID-19 situation with chief ministers of all states, expresses confidence that India will emerge victorious with everyone's efforts. Hard work is the only path and victory the only option for India, says the Prime Minister. Centre reviews preparedness on migrant workers with states and union territories in view of surge in COVID cases. India achieves milestone of administering over 155 crore COVID-19 vaccine doses in less than a year. 3 people die and 20 injured as Bikaner-Guwahati express train derails near New Domahani in West Bengal. Railway Minister announces ex gratia of 5 lakh rupees each to next of kin of the dead. More than 1 crore people to participate in global Surya Namaskar demonstration program on occasion of Makar Sankranti tomorrow. President, Vice President, Prime Minister greet people on the occasion of Makar Sankranti, Lohri, Bihu, Vishu and Pongal. And in cricket, India set 212-run target before South Africa in the series decider test at Cape Town. Rishabh Pant scores a century. And with that, we end the evening news. Good night.